Hello, and welcome to Allegedly, a pop culture podcast. I am your host, Jordan. I grew up with celebrity drama from Us Weekly, People, TMZ, E! News, all thanks to my best friend, mom, co-host, and birthday girl, Beth.
Konnichiwa.
Pop culture became our way of life, so here we are, tuning in to discuss our top stories of the week. Happy belated birthday, Mom.
Thank you.
So Friday was your birthday.
Friday, yes.
How was your birthday weekend?
Very relaxing. We didn't do much. I went to Hibachi on Friday with Anna, and she had some sushi, which it's so funny because when they go to Hibachi, they sit on the other side to where you just order and it come out to you, like the whole thing already made.
Yeah.
And I've never sat on that side. Dwayne and ever.
Wow.
Dwayne and I always have hibachi, even if it's
you don't
just us two.
You do the whole hibachi show for just you two.
I want the onion volcano. I want the everything.
Okay.
And,
presentation matters.
Yeah, I want the presentation. But I was telling Anna that Dwayne makes friends with people so fast everywhere we go. So there were already people coming to sit with us. So we had us three and then 4 other people. And I told Anna we're going to be besties with these people before we leave. And she's so antisocial and she's awkward and she doesn't want to like even make eye contact with people. So the fact that they were talking to us,
it was too much for her already.
It was too much for her. So then she had been wanting to try some sushi. So I think she's tried it once, but different stuff. So we got 2 sushi rolls. And then I made her do where they throw the broccoli in your mouth.
Oh, she had to try to catch it?
She's the only one at the table that caught it.
Oh, nice. Good for her. How many tries?
First try.
Awesome.
I was like, are you nervous? She's like, oh my God, don't make me do this. It was so funny. But there was delicious food. And it's so weird because each hibachi time we go tastes so different versus like each chef.
Really?
And I thought this time was great, but Dwayne did not like it. And apparently it has upset his stomach because he is sick again.
There's no way it's what's upset his stomach. Something else is going on.
Yeah. I don't know, but he's sick again.
You heard it here, folks. We're sending him to the doctor.
Oh, he has promised he will go to the doctor this week because something is wrong. It's definitely not normal.
No, it's not. Poor guy.
No. And then yesterday we went to see Napoleon, the movies, and came home and watched Squid Games on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I knew you weren't like big on wanting to do too much anyway.
No. The days of me going out till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning are done for me. Like the hangovers aren't worth it anymore. I would much rather have a little wine buzz like we have now. And
don't give away our secrets. We're supposed to be funny on our own, not because we're giggly from drinking wine.
It's like 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon and we've had a whole bottle of wine.
It's almost 4.
Oh, it's okay.
And we've been in the same spot for probably 2 hours.
Each podcast is a new experience. There's a new technical difficulty.
Listen, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I was out of town all weekend, so my dogs stayed with my mom, and
they're excited to see you now.
They are in the room because they couldn't part again.
You went to the store and Penny cried for 5 minutes straight while you're gone.
Yeah, my poor dogs. I had to tell her that I wasn't leaving for good. Like, I'll be right back.
I tried to tell her too, but she wouldn't even hear it.
Well, she's fine now.
All is right in the world again.
Well, I went to San Antonio for the weekend.
Yes.
Brandon and I, my best friend, her son turned 1, and
little baby Steven.
And we went to SeaWorld for his first birthday.
How's that? I haven't been to SeaWorld. I mean, since you and I went, and you were what, 10?
We went to Fiesta, Texas.
Oh, God. Have I ever been to SeaWorld?
But I've been to SeaWorld, and I don't think it's just from like, I think I went with my dad maybe when I was like really, really young. But I feel like you and I have, because I remember riding the steel eel as a kid, and it had to be with you. It might have been with you and
my first husband.
Your first husband. I really think so. Because when you and I went to Fiesta, Texas, that was us alone.
Yeah.
So I think us 3 must have gone to SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Because that's the only timeline that works. It was your first marriage.
Yeah. I know I went to SeaWorld when I was a kid, when my dad and mom got divorced.
But they didn't even have rides yet, right?
No, it was brand new. But
the steel eel was their first ride and their only ride for a very long time.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Do they still have like Shamu and other animals?
They are no longer shows for your entertainment.
Good.
They are
good
presentations for your education.
I mean, did you get like circus vibes? Were they like mistreating the elephants?
You know, I have not set foot in a SeaWorld for that reason.
Exactly.
And since I was a
As you
child.
shouldn't.
Because it freaks me out.
Yes.
Circuses, animals doing tricks, like it's not fun for me.
No.
It really fucks me up in the brain.
Yes.
And
oh my God. Sidetrack.
what?
I mean, animals. But, you know, we went to see Napoleon yesterday. And I
have a hard time with animals in movies.
I have a very hard time with animals in movies. I have a very, very hard time with animals that die in movies. Mm-hmm. And the amount of horses that perished in these wars is heartbreaking.
Could you tell they were real animals or are they CGI?
Jordan, I've never seen a horse fall. Like if their owner gets shot in war on the top of the horse and they fall off.
The horse falls too.
No, the horse like takes off and lives its own happy life without somebody riding on its back.
Okay.
But this one, Jordan, I have never seen the amount.
You're making me sad.
It was terrible. They actually, Napoleon's horse was this beautiful white horse. He was shot, and I think he was hit with a fucking cannon in the horse's chest. And his chest, like right under his neck. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen anything like that. It was so disturbing.
I mean, obviously, it's like movie editing.
I understand. I know.
I don't know how they do it.
But how they get these horses to even fall down and to pretend to be shot, I don't know. But it was terrible the amount of horses that were shot. And then there's one of the wars that Napoleon fought in that they were on ice, like a lake had frozen over, and they shot cannons into, over from this hill onto the lake, and everybody fell into the water, horses and all. It was devastating. Devastating. Anyway, how was your trip to SeaWorld?
Okay, so when we first got there, we did shows. We saw beluga whales and these dolphins. They were in one tank. They're like these special dolphins. They're black and white. I don't know. They look like pepper. But they're only like in SeaWorld San Antonio. I think maybe
only
2 places.
In captivity.
See, and this really, the captivity thing freaks me out. Okay, so they have this big video presentation that's playing while their actors are freaking talking full presentation. Like, we're doing
no
great.
Animals
like,
were harmed
nothing is
this.
happening bad. Yeah. So the video was, no. Okay, the presenter was talking about how they rescued this beluga whale because it had already been abandoned from its pod. And
sure, Jan.
It was
sure, Jan.
Right? Okay.
Sure,
so,
Jan.
So the only option for this beluga whale was to be brought into captivity.
That's the only
so
option.
you're going to tell me that he had a better chance of survival in this tank that...
Then with the school of other dolphins?
Well, it was the beluga whale, but dolphins also.
If he can live with dolphins, he can live with the whales.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to let that slide. Like, sure, maybe he wouldn't have been accepted somewhere else, but I have a hard time believing he's not better off in the ocean.
Beluga whales are that mean that they're just not going to accept him?
Well, that happens. It happens in nature. They're like, no, we do not want you. You're rejected. Like, you're done.
Like, and then what?
And then I guess they die.
Just call SeaWorld to come pick their buddies up? Like, he's out?
I don't know. So it was so cute, though. So the beluga whales were like talked up on this video, and the presenter is, doing their arm motions, and they are actors. This is a script.
I mean, they're full on Six Flags performers.
Performers in general, but it's a production.
Yeah.
But it's a presentation, not a show. So moving on with their presentation, it was so cute. The beluga whales, they just kind of swam in. They just said, hey. Like, they weren't doing tricks. They literally just swam the window just to be like, we're here.
They
like,
just needed to get their per diem for the day.
It was so cute. And then the dolphins came out and like were doing tricks. And obviously it's so cool. I literally was just like the 1-year-old experienced it for the first time. I was laughing at myself because I'm like, wow, whoa. And then I'm a fucking cheese ball. So when they have like the dolphins and the whales and whatever waving, I'm like waving back because it's so freaking cute. Shut up.
Did Brandon just get up and leave?
No, but he should have. So when we were in the orca one after, the big whale gets on its like belly, like they bring it up to the platform and it waves, and I'm like waving by. I'm like, does it see me? Like,
Jordan, I would get up and leave you right there and be like,
I cannot have been the only adult waving. There was
think you
plenty
were.
of people waving. Maybe in my group of 14 I might have been, but I was going to take my moment and say, hey, hi, I see you, you see me.
oh my God.
I love you, I respect you.
Oh, he's just out here working hard for the money.
But it made me sad. Okay, so that's the part that like I was having such like a crisis with it, because these animals, they showed you, so part of their presentation, they make a point to show you how they train them, and they pull out this big long stick with this bulb at the end, and
Is it full of electricity and they shock them?
and they hit it in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so it's the marker to tell the whales or dolphins, this is where I want you to swim,
Or
this,
else.
and this right here is your mark. You make it right here in the middle of this window. And then they blow whistles like, and that's how they know they did it correctly.
You know what? You know the little dog bark thing that I have and how bad it hurts your ears?
fucking
Can you
hate it.
imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh my God, I got to do this trick.
Right?
Please don't. Well, the whistle blows when they do it right, though. But then they get rewards. The rewards are they get
Not
fish.
dying.
They no longer keep them in captivity. Like there's no more. I don't think they have a breeding
Oh,
program
they
anymore.
just go out to the ocean and come back every day for work?
No, they stay in these tanks.
So in captivity.
Oh my God, one of them was like 38 years old.
Shut up.
Yeah.
In
they
whale
had this-
years or real years?
human years, and it was like bred in captivity.
Oh,
so
it knows nothing
was
else.
That's literally, I was so heartbroken at the thought.
Oh my
like,
God.
This has been.
Does he not
this
know
whale-
there's a whole
He
ocean
doesn't.
out there?
He thinks his life is to swim around
that breaks
and
my
do
heart.
these tricks
Ugh.
in this tank for
In
this
San
fish.
Antonio.
But the orcas had a nice view of the sky. So I'm like, damn.
Ooh.
I was like, okay, that's pretty, but like, that's all they know.
Yeah.
It really hurt me.
Yeah. I hope it was worth it, Jordan.
I didn't pay for it. It was a free ticket.
I hope Steven had a great birthday.
The only good part was it being like cool to see him.
Oh, I can imagine.
Experience these new things for the first time.
When he was here, he was like, oh.
Yes.
Oh.
And he's like, still pointing. So
Yeah.
he'd be like, when they would go away, like they weren't swimming for a second while you had to watch this educational video on the screen.
To make sure they don't get sued.
Yes. He's like, he's pointing at the water, like waiting for them to come back.
Look, he even knows that they're in danger. He even knows, like, they shouldn't be in this big swimming pool.
It was sad. Oh my God. What made me feel worse was the fucking penguins.
Oh, in their little tuxedos.
The penguins have no space.
What do you mean?
So I remember this also from being a kid. But then I'm like, maybe it's other places. So the penguins have, it is a double wide trailer. Okay. So you know how they're long, horizontal. So they're in their double wide. And you're on an escalator mat. Moving,
And they just got like a wall of windows for us to just peer into their lives,
and they're
live in their
just, like,
lives.
stuck in this double wide. Like they have no room.
Well, that's-
stuck on these fake rocks in this fake Arctic with 6 different types of penguins. Like these aren't their
They're
people.
like 6 gangs.
They're just stuck in there with
Yeah.
these other groups. They don't want to be a part of them.
Oh my God. And you just like conveyor belt by.
Literally conveyor belt. You know the movie Wall-E, where they're like fat people in like the big you're in their little wheelchair cars, like hover, and like nobody walks in Wall-E. Like they just float. I felt so weird and so like dystopian. Like it really fucked me up. It really fucked me up. Now they were cute, but I was sad the entire time.
Did they do tricks or anything?
No, they just swam where they were sleeping or just sitting on a rock.
Ugh.
What, like, that is their existence? I hate my existence as a human on Earth, like in
your little small town.
And I feel like the small town isn't big enough, and they have a double life.
Yeah.
I get stuck
in Texas.
Exactly. I mean, they're in like negative 38 degrees or whatever. I did read that on like the board. They're in like negative 34.
So they say. What if it's like 72 degrees in there and they're all like looking at you, trying to like help, signal your eyes to like help them out?
And then, so it was penguins and puffins in the same area.
No.
But the puffins, it was lights out for them. I don't know.
It was what?
Lights out.
Oh. Lights out like they died?
No. Like their lights to their exhibit or whatever were out. So it was sleep time.
Nighttime for them.
Which I guess penguins are party animals because their lights were raging.
Well, they're dressed up for the occasion. They gotta like stay and party.
They had the cute ones that had like the wispy hair. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Robin Williams was that penguin?
Yeah.
That one. And Brandon said it looked like angel hair pasta. And literally one of the type of penguins was a freak ad named after a pasta. I was like, good for you for calling that. It was so crazy. I was like, oh my God, that is pasta noodles. He looks like Justin Timberlake, ramen noodle head. It was crazy.
So funny.
But yeah, so the puffins were lights out, but then you could still see the puffins like swimming at the window. Like there's maybe 5
trying
of them trying to get out, and there was a baby, and it was little, and I was excited to see one because I've never seen a puffin. But then I'm like, I should never see a puffin because I am not an explorer. I'm not
out searching for puffins.
Our lines should never cross.
True.
Oh my God! In one of the presentations, for one of the whales, I don't remember if it was an orca whale or a blue whale. It might have been an orca. They were like, we have just now discovered another type of whale which we didn't know existed. I'm like, you weren't supposed to know it existed. We are not supposed to be interacting with them in the middle of the ocean.
There's a whole world down there. Like, let them live.
Leave Brittany alone.
Let them live. Why? Why do we need to know all that?
And I thought about that too. Like, what? Why? Why do we need to know?
Just because we're curious?
Exactly. And then I made the comment, like, I told Brandon, I was like, aliens don't, come look down at us. He was like, they literally abduct us. And I was like, you're right. They do. So somewhere there's humans in a pod, in a double wide.
In a double wide.
Being watched on a conveyor belt of aliens.
There better be rides up there. At least they can go on rides.
Not us.
Did you ride any rides?
Yes, I rode 4 out of the 5 that were there total.
There's only 5 rides there?
Yeah, it's not an amusement park, I guess. It's more
all
for
animals, and you only saw penguins and whales?
They had like other things. Like there's a parade. There's like kid rides, like small. I guess they have a partnership with Sesame Street.
Okay.
So there was a lot of like Sesame Street stuff. You could meet Elmo. You could meet Mrs. Claus. Like it was Christmas celebration. So there was like lots of performances.
How long did y'all stay out there?
We got
Doesn't seem like there's a lot to do there.
We got there, I don't know, 3, 4 o'clock. Closed at 9. Brandon and I left 8:30ish probably. But there's like a lot of Christmas things. They have like hot chocolate pop-ups, singing things happening all the time. The religious undertones, crazy.
Really?
They had a full nativity scene of performers. Like it was Jesus Christ Superstar on stage. Like it was a nativity scene. And then there was one random menorah. One menorah
that's sad.
over on display over here.
Nobody mentioned it, like said what it is. There's no Jewish ceremony.
There was like snowmen. So snowmen were like a big thing. There was like an Elvis snowman, football player snowman, the Blues Brothers snowman. Who in 2023 knows what the Blues Brothers is?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Anyway, they were just all over the place. And then there was like candy canes and gingerbread houses and they were playing Christmas music, all kinds from movies.
Yeah.
Sesame Street, and then
was it cold?
Joy to the World, all kind of stuff. It was like 60 degrees ish. I had a
Sunny?
sweater. We got there when the sun was setting.
Sun going down, yeah.
But it was fine. It was good.
Good.
It was different. It's not my favorite amusement park. Literally the whole like snack line thing, like people being able to grab their stuff before paying for it, freaked me out.
Yeah, that's so weird.
What if someone grabs their pizza, decides they don't want it, put it back, and I go and grab that same pizza?
Exactly.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Freaked me out.
I don't like that.
No. It's not monitored enough. And like, what's stopping these people from running away? Like grabbing this and going? Probably nothing.
Nothing.
And it was nothing but teenagers working there. Literally.
Of course. Teenagers literally run businesses now.
It freaks me out. It was weird. I was like, they do not care at all.
No. Eat that pizza and put it back. They don't care.
Phones out everywhere.
Yeah.
I saw this girl's high school badge. I'm like, this is... It's weird. It's weird being not in high school anymore, like being an adult.
And realizing this world is run by teenagers.
Yeah.
Or full-on businesses that you frequent are run by
literally
teenagers.
said youth is wasted on the young earlier at lunch today.
Yeah.
And you're right.
It really is. It's nuts.
Oh, speaking of the rides, I threw my back out. Speaking of age.
Welcome to middle age.
They had a wooden roller coaster. And, you know, those are always like the rougher ones. Our one here at Six Flags in Arlington.
No, thank
rough.
you.
It got changed to like steel. Same thing happened in Fiesta, Texas. Like those do not hold up.
No.
This one still wooden. That should have been red flag number one.
Yeah.
I was so fucking scared. Like I was terrified.
Look, I told you, when you hit a certain age, 29, 30 years old, you're like, I don't need this adrenaline rush anymore. I'm done with roller coasters. I don't need this kind of scare in my life.
The other ones were better. I enjoyed the other ones more. I had to force myself on them because I was like, I'm not letting that be my last roller coaster ever. I'm not.
I let Tony Hawk at Six Flags
Mom,
be my
that's
last
a
one.
kid ride. You are fully in like a seat. That one's not scary. That's the crazy mouse at the state fair.
Look, I was 29 years old and I got off of that ride and I almost had a panic attack. And I liked roller coasters. But I got off that ride and I was like, no, thank you. I'm done with those.
And all I think about is how unsafe all of them are.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is what's holding me in. Thank God.
Speaking of teenagers running things.
Literally, I'm like, they don't fucking care. They're just touch. Yeah. Okay. But are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Jordan, I have seen TikToks where people have been full on scalped by roller coasters.
Stop that.
Or like those Superman.
I made sure to keep my hands and feet in all the time. And there was no extending of my hands, being woo. Like, nope.
No.
I'm inside.
Or like those Superman rides where they just like take you all the way up and then like drop you. Like people like falling out of their chairs because they're not fully buckled in.
I watched someone die on that one.
Yeah.
Online. But someone.
You know why? Because they're ran by teenagers.
Yeah. Or carnies.
Or crackheads. Teenagers and crackheads are running this world. Running these businesses.
Oh my
That's
God.
the title.
Teenagers are running this world.
Teenagers and crackheads.
Teenagers and crackheads. Okay, that's episode title. Calling it. All right. Well, all right. We're 30 minutes in.
Oh my God. And a full bottle of wine.
Yeah. All right. Jumping right in. Our first story. Diddy. This, you know, I wish nothing but bad things for Sean Diddy Combs. And I've heard he was like horrible and nobody wants to talk about him, but he's not going to listen to my tiny podcast and hear me say that.
Sidetrack.
Mom, we literally, I'm 5 words in.
It's about Diddy.
What?
Kimora Lee Simmons' house burnt down.
No fucking way.
Yes.
No.
Just adds on the fucking conspiracy.
No.
Yes.
That literally just came out about her, like their interviews resurfacing.
Yes. She is Kim Porter's best friend. And Kim Porter is the ex-wife of Diddy. And everybody who is coming out with these tell-all about Diddy seems...
Because she said something, or like
seems
it's
to be
resurfacing saying that he was abusive or like mean or something,
Yes.
right?
So everybody who's coming out about Diddy, i.e. Jamie Foxx, and Sierra, not Sierra, what's her name? Cassie. Things are happening to them.
Not Cassie. She's paid off.
Well, Jamie Foxx just came out of the hospital with some mysterious illness that he has
For a really, really long time, though.
for a really long time, and he won't say what it is. And Kimora Lee Simmons' house just burnt down.
That is so
I'm not saying Puff Daddy did
crazy.
it, but
and I still, now that like it's been pointed out, I don't know if this was on our podcast, maybe off the podcast. Diddy killed Tupac.
Diddy for sure killed Kim Porter for sure.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah.
You can come pay me off and I won't talk about you either.
Right?
I mean, okay.
Don't burn my house down.
No, please.
Yeah.
Give me my dogs and my fiance.
Yeah.
You can burn my house down. It's fine.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway.
I just thought that was crazy.
So Diddy has like Bad Boy Records and I don't know what else he does. He's got that he's got a clothing line and all this kind of stuff. Well, he
Sean
also
John.
Yes. Is that even a thing anymore?
I don't know.
But that's what it was.
Yeah.
So he was chairman. So I can't look at you because as soon as I made eye contact, he was chairman of a TV network called Revolt. And they announced that he has stepped down from his position. So they also said like he hasn't had any involvement in like their day-to-day operations. Really, I guess it's just been his name.
Yeah.
And
It's given Ashton and Mila.
it really is. But Ashton, I think, was a lot more involved with that one, right?
No.
No? It was just attached to him?
It was
yeah,
in
they
name
are
only.
cutting ties.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough, because it's only going to bring bad publicity to this company.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's
tainted already.
I mean, I was about to say it's already tainted and blacklisted, I would imagine. But one of Diddy's old bodyguards is flooding TikTok with.
He said he actually stepped out and helped Cassie.
He is. I don't know why
that.
he's the one. He didn't sign an NDA. Like, how could you be a bodyguard and not sign an NDA?
Surely he did.
Exactly. So why
Maybe
is
there's,
he
like,
coming out with all this? And I'm just gonna say he might be next on the list for something bad to happen. I said it here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I hope nothing but bad things for Diddy.
Yeah. But
Good things for his kids. I do feel bad for them.
Do you know, it makes me want Jennifer Lopez to come out and be.
They dated,
They
right?
dated for a long time.
A long time?
Yeah.
She had to have seen something.
She had to have seen
She
stuff.
had to have signed an NDA.
Well, of course. And he, vice versa. They probably signed NDAs on each other. I think that's just probably like a business maneuver.
Random, thinking about NDAs. Did you know Hugh Jackman made his wife sign an NDA like $100,000
Before they got divorced?
Yeah.
Wow.
He paid a crazy amount
Wow.
because he's a closeted gay.
Shut up. He's not.
That's rumors on the internet. It's pure speculation. I like it.
Allegedly.
Oh, okay. I'm alleging, I guess, that he's closeted, and that he's a part of those like sex rings, like sex trafficking, young men, party drugs.
With Diddy?
No. Well, possibly, but with
I think
this
Diddy only likes like
producer,
black guys.
this producer that's been like blacklisted. He's like a big name, but he is involved
With Hugh Jackman?
with Hugh Jackman. Producer.
If Hugh Jackman comes out as
He's
being,
never going to come out.
but if he comes out on part of some like Epstein's list,
I'm thinking it's possible. From what I've seen on TikTok, that's
where I get all my news is TikTok for sure.
But this is why this is literally why we're called allegedly, because take everything with a grain of salt, because don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Don't believe us.
Don't believe us. But look that one up. It's crazy.
I will. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. There's so much underground. I mean, it's called Hollyweird for a reason.
It is. It's gross. There's pedophiles like everywhere.
Yeah.
It freaks me out. Have you seen anything about the other sexual assault lawsuit against Diddy?
No.
Me either.
No. You would think it would be,
Bigger.
or it would be, the news would be out if he settled it like he did with Cassie.
True. But if all of Hollywood's connected, maybe we won't see it.
Maybe.
Okay. Next story. Felicity Huffman.
Yes, Felicity Huffman. She was the center of the college scandal.
Operation Varsity Blues, what it was called. Did you know that?
That was what it was called?
Yeah.
So she went to prison for 11 days is what she was sentenced to. I think it was for probably 30 days, and I think she probably got out for overcrowding. But she
Because it was during COVID, right?
Yeah. But she originally hired it's called a college coach for her daughter who was a senior in high school to help her with her grades, help her with like her resume, help her with like the things that you need to like check off for a college application, because apparently she was a Nepo baby and didn't do as much as she should have done like a normal high school student to get into college. So Felicity Huffman, who played in Desperate Housewives, hired this guy for $5,000 to help her daughter.
That's it? $5,000?
But after working for her for a year, he came to Felicity and was like, look, this isn't working. She's not going to get into college.
No
She's
way.
basically a loser. And let me tell you how I can help you.
Oh, he finagled.
This is her story,
Okay.
because she's finally speaking out. This is the first time she spoke out. But she said after a year he came to her and said, look, this isn't working, but let me tell you what I can do. For another $15,000, I can go in and change her wrong answers on her SAT scores, and then I can help pad her college resumes.
Wow.
And that's illegal.
That's very illegal.
That is illegal. So she was charged and sentenced to probably 30 days in jail. Hey. But she's still, her reasoning was like, this is my daughter's future. I would do anything for it. And I broke the law.
Which I feel like is fair. I think anyone would. I mean, if it were me, I feel like I would do anything for my kids. I feel like you would do anything for me,
but
to have a better future. Like, especially if you don't think they're going to. Like, why would you not use your money and access?
Oh, for sure. But if I knew this was against the law,
but if you didn't think you were going to get caught, because it happens every day.
But if I
Just
knew
a leg
that
up.
wasn't a law, like I didn't know that was a law.
Okay.
Until Felicity Huffman
Well,
was
we can't
charged
afford
with
that loss. That makes sense.
But if I had the means to get you into Texas Tech,
anywhere, it wouldn't even be tech. It'd be somewhere, it'd be an Ivy. I'm sure that's where
if I had the means to get you into Harvard, but you didn't earn your way into Harvard, absolutely, I would do it.
Right.
Absolutely. However, if I knew it was against the law, and I full on knew I would be breaking the law to do it, I would have paused.
Surely they knew it was against the law, though, right?
I didn't know it was against the law.
But you weren't committing the crime. Surely, once someone comes to you being like, hey, give me $50,000, $15,000,
which is
and
nothing.
I can, to them, right, I can make sure she gets in.
Yeah.
But you already know, you said she's a loser. So... if they
she's
already
probably not doing like AP classes.
Okay, so if they already knew that, then you knew she wasn't going to get in on her own merit anyway. So she knew.
But listen, if I personally, as your mother, could think you could get into any Ivy League school, because that's my vision of you. But but grades wise and resume wise,
I did not apply myself for an Ivy.
No, it would be in black and white that you could not.
Correct.
But if someone told me, hey, for $15,000, this is what I do, this is my job to get people into college, I would do it. Mm-hmm. I would do it. That guy's not going to tell you, hey, this may be breaking the law, but I can sign this and you can get her in.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have pause.
Yeah.
I would have pause.
I get how it's illegal, but I get why they did it.
But if you could just pay your way into college, like why?
Wouldn't you? Exactly.
Why? I don't. That's what I don't understand. Like, if you could just pay the tuition, who cares if you didn't have the grades to get in there?
Now, I do think there are other ways they could do it. For example, Rory Gilmore has a building in her name. So, like, you could just have rich parents donate a library, and that will put you in.
I mean,
she was already in when that happened, but
that's like
it might be fictional, but I'm sure it happens all the time.
It's like the Diddy Duquette wing of the hospital. Grey's
That's a
Anatomy.
different situation. Because Diddy Duquette wasn't going to college.
No, but he had all the money and he was trying to save his life.
So what do you mean? He did that so he could get saved?
I mean,
thought that was gonna give him a leg
donated a
up?
bunch of money. He left Izzy a bunch of money.
After he died.
After he died,
That's
but-
post-mortem. So that wasn't him trying to save himself.
Yeah. But I would do it. I mean, I would have done it. I would be Felicity Huffman, and I would have spent 11 days in jail.
Yeah.
But I would also, I mean, looking back now in your college days, I would have told you, you know what? Try junior college. Give it a try. Let's do that for 2 years.
Knowing what I know now, I would have done better. I would have... I mean, I'm not saying I did bad in college. I never did. My grades were fine.
Yeah.
Were my other choices fine? Maybe not. I have a college degree.
Amen. It all worked out.
It did. I have 3.
And I would have went to jail for 11 days for you to get that.
But anyway, I get where they're
If they would just pay those loans off, I'd go to jail for 6 months.
put me in there. No, I won't do 6 months. I've seen 60 days in. I'm not doing that. I could do 15 days.
Would I do it for 60 days? Fuck yeah.
Mom, they barely make it
To
on
pay
60 days
off?
in. And that's for like...
I could be
think they get,
invisible for 60 days.
10,000 per episode.
I would be invisible.
That's right,
You would
but-
never even know I'm in that jail. Give me 60 days.
That's true.
Pay off the college loans.
That's all you got to do. You're right. I could be invisible.
Yeah.
I could get slop.
Yeah.
I could shower in front of people.
Yeah. But the only problem I would have being in jail is like lights out at 10 o'clock. I need jail motherfuckers to go to bed.
Instead of like banging and screaming.
Yes.
Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah.
I think that was the last
Yeah.
6 months, 60 days in. Maybe I couldn't.
No.
I think I
would
could.
still prefer you to go to junior college.
That's messed up. You wouldn't take the sacrifice and go to jail for me? We'd be out of debt.
We would. I'd probably do it actually.
I would do it now. I don't want to go to work. Put me in jail.
Knock on some wood, Jordan.
I mean,
oh my God.
Well, I don't want to go to jail that bad. I'm not doing anything to go to jail.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next story.
So Shannon Doherty from 90210, she was Brenda on 90210. She was diagnosed with cancer 8 years ago.
Oh, it's been 8 years.
It's been 8 years, and I think it was breast cancer.
Yeah.
Well, her breast cancer has now metastasized to her bones. It's a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, which isn't a good prognosis.
No.
And she came out doing an interview, and she's like, "I don't want to die. And my best days have not been lived." And she's still like continuing to do treatment. So Shannon Doherty has her own podcast. It's a memoir style podcast. Let's Be Clear with Shannon Doherty is premiering on December 6th. So I'm thinking, you go ahead, write that down.
No, I gotta.
Something about this? You got something for this?
Rick Hill is starting a podcast.
Oh, yes. Okay. Anyway, and this podcast for her will discuss like all of her highlights, her past relationships, her illness, and like health regimens, everything. Which kind of makes me sad.
That is sad.
This is like her
I wouldn't
last
want to listen
thing,
to that.
know?
I don't want to listen to that.
But it might be good and cathartic for her.
I'm sure she should write a memoir. We don't need to listen to it every week.
She's only 52. So she said, "I'm not done living. I'm not done loving. I'm not done creating. I'm not done hopefully changing things for the better. I'm not done." Yeah. So she was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015 and got the mastectomy and like underwent chemo and radiation and went into remission in 2017. So that's 2 years later. But then by 2019, it returned. So 2019 was what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
So now it's metastasized to her bones.
Ugh.
And
that's
at that
just
point,
all her bones.
that's literally everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard.
That's so sad.
It's so scary. I'm sad for her.
I don't know why they have not found a cure for cancer or at least a...
My theory is they have, but Big Pharma doesn't want anyone to know.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I think.
For sure.
You don't make money off of fit, well people.
Right.
So
right.
that's what I
And
think.
if there was no cancer in the world, like, what would Big Pharma do?
I hate humanity, and I wish I was a bug every day of my life. I hate it. I hate living. It's so messed up.
You wanna be a
Humanity-
bug?
I want to be anything but human. Like, humanity is so messed up.
Yeah.
Like, how people just choose to not be morally right.
Yeah.
Like, you just... It's really messed up to mess with other people's lives and like make a profit off it. I hate it.
But why haven't they found causes of cancer?
It's everything we eat.
It's everything.
It's the dyes. It's the extra ingredients. A lot of countries have like Mountain Dew banned, Doritos, all of these like different things we use in the U.S. because they are cancer leading. They're cancer causing.
Crazy.
Some people don't even have microwaves in their home because of the...
I think my theory is that everybody has cancer and they just haven't found it yet. Like it hasn't metastasized. I think there is a little cancer in all of us.
Probably, for sure.
And it just hasn't like grabbed onto cells or muscles or bones or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it does, like cancer.
Next story. We have Brandon Blackstock and Kelly Clarkson.
I mean, I think Brandon Blackstock is in the running for The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
I mean, loser.
He is Reba's stepson, right?
Reba's ex-stepson.
Ex-stepson, yes.
Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband.
Which makes me so sad because she said he was the love of her life. Like, she had never felt anything until she met him.
He was...
I was so happy for her.
He was in the line to be such a great guy. Yeah. Especially Reba and Vernon.
Something like that.
They'd been married for so long. And then he had a kid. And so he was raised by Reba. And I would think he would be a good guy. He's not. He's not a good guy.
No, he's not.
So it is they've been divorced for 2 years now.
Yeah.
He has apparently been called back into court because he has collected fees for booking what is called unlawfully secured roles for talent.
I'm just confused on how he felt he wasn't making enough money already.
Right?
Your wife was already bringing in so much. Like, what? I don't get it.
So he was her manager and he was booking things for her. 3 things. Some kind of cruise line, Norwegian cruise line that she was a part of. Like what's the...
Like where celebrities go and perform on the cruises.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her thing with Wayfair. What's the word I'm looking for?
Endorsement?
No. Partnership. Her partnership with Wayfair.
That's the same brain wavelength right there.
Yeah. And every time she's hosted the awards, the Billboard Music Awards, she's hosted a couple of different times. Mm-hmm. He's collected money on that. All 3 of those things when he shouldn't have.
So that's not normal for a manager to do.
That is not normal for a manager to do. He shouldn't be collecting money on all bookings or certain bookings. So the judge has ordered him to pay back Kelly Clarkson $1.3 million.
Oh my God. After he was already asking so much.
This pathetic loser of a man has...
Hope you hear that, Brandon Blackstock.
Brandon Blackstock, you're a pathetic loser of a man. He gets paid $45,000 a month in child support when he gets when they are sharing custody.
It's disgusting.
He gets $115,000 a month in spousal support.
Also disgusting.
On top of the $1.3 million settlement.
And he got the ranch, right?
And he got the ranch in Montana. I'm so glad that he is having to pay back money to her.
Yeah. It's not even enough.
I hope he has to pay back millions and millions and millions of dollars.
It just makes me sad for their kids. Like, they still have to co-parent. That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
He's still trying to, like, screw her over.
And the, that ABCDEFG song?
Yeah.
That she covers?
Yes,
she does, like, the karaoke on her show? And she did it in Vegas when she was doing a couple of her residency shows in Vegas. And it was like, fuck you and your dad and the fact that you got half. And I was like, oh my God. It's like so crazy. And it was like, and the view that I bought you from our ranch in Montana. I was like, oh my God.
She changed the lyrics to another song. One of the ones about like, one she wrote about her dad and she's like cry when she performed it.
Like Breakaway or something like that?
No, that's an older one.
Oh.
It was a different one. And she changed the lyrics about finding someone great who like listens to just make him being a shitty person. Like more relevant now.
She's such a good, down-to-earth hometown girl.
How can you not love Kelly Clarkson?
How can you screw her over like that?
Honestly. But the nice ones always get screwed over.
That is true. That is true.
So messed up.
Yeah. But his $115,000 spousal support ends in January 2024. So she had to pay that for 2 years. So at least he's going to...
Okay, so it's not forever. Is spousal support always only for a limited time?
No. I think it's depending on the state because Texas doesn't have that at all.
Okay, because I never heard of it.
Yeah, but it's depending on the state. I know it disappears if the other person gets married, which they hardly ever do.
Because they want that cash.
I wouldn't get married either.
Marriage is a scam.
But yeah, so Brandon Blackstock, boo. Loser.
Certain men are trash. I'll say not all men are trash. Next story I have is about Deuxmoi, the anonymous gossip site, who is pretty much Gossip Girl in 2023.
For sure, Gossip Girl.
Okay. So it's like this girl who posts anonymous. It was really big during COVID. I feel like that's when it like took off even more than it had been. People were posting sightings of their celebrities and
then she would post them on a website.
Yeah, on Instagram. Well, she also has a blog and a podcast. And she posts like...
But no one's ever seen her, right?
I mean, there's like a select few, I'm pretty sure. I think there's like a few people who know who she is.
Okay.
And also like some...
Because a podcast that I've listened to that she's been on, it's been audio only because you're not supposed to know who she is.
Which is the whole point. But there's been like speculation about who she is and like a Variety, I think maybe. One magazine has done like a full spread like on her identity. It was never like confirmed by her, but there's like speculation about who she is and her podcast.
And she's just a normal person, right?
Just a normal person. I think she's a socialite, honestly. I think she's not just like a regular, girl next door. I think she's from something. Yeah. But anyway, so she's in some hot water. And, I think she deserves to be. So she always posts about Taylor Swift because she's like, the biggest star currently. Mm-hmm. And she's always alleged...
Is Deuxmoi a Swiftie? Not after this story?
Honestly, I wouldn't say she's not a Swiftie.
Okay.
But she always posts about Taylor sightings, what Taylor's doing. And since like 2020, 2021, she is alleged or alluded to there was a ceremony, some sort of wedding ceremony between Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift.
Not Joe Antonoff.
No, that's Jack, Mom.
Oh. We don't go down that rabbit hole again.
So she's like pretty much stuck by this story since like the COVID times that Taylor Swift got married. Nobody knew about it. Select few people, blah, blah, blah. She's also alluded to Taylor Swift having had a miscarriage with Joe and that like being, a part of her story.
How would she know that?
Exactly.
And that's rude.
So that's where she's coming into hot water as of now.
If I was Taylor, I wouldn't even like her.
Let me keep talking and I'll tell you what happened.
Go.
Okay. So she put out this item that someone messaged her, and I'm not going to read all of it because it's a lot, but I'm going to say that this is what Deuxmoi said. She said she did have a ceremony in either 2020 or 2021 in the UK, and it was described to me as a quote unquote marriage by more than one person. It was never made legal. She said, I will die on this hill, put it on my tombstone. I have no reason to lie. I could give a shit what she does. 5 exclamation points. I'm sorry she didn't tell you guys about it in a song, but just because she doesn't sing about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. So that's what she posted to Instagram for her 2 million followers. So
Deuxmoi is going to die on the hill that Taylor had a ceremony that wasn't legal.
Correct.
Who gives a fuck?
Exactly. And
if it wasn't legal, why do we care?
And if Taylor's not in that relationship anymore, why do we care? But everyone is also pulling back. So Jack Antonoff, who is Taylor's really good friend and music producer, we talked about him last week.
I swear those are the same people. Joe Alwyn and Jack Antonoff, they are the same person.
Do I need to show you pictures to prove that they are not?
In my brain, it's the same person. When you say one, I hear
Jack
the
has
other.
glasses. Joe does not.
Okay.
So just think of that.
Okay, go.
I'll do this when I say Jack. Hold up glasses. So Jack posted a picture on Instagram because Taylor just released. Okay, hold on. Rewind. Taylor is Spotify's top global artist of 2023.
Yeah. I believe it.
It's true. I mean, regardless if you believe it or not, it's fact. So Jack Antonoff posted a picture that he had of Taylor right before they wrote You're Losing Me, which is a song she just released on Spotify. So she'd released it as a deluxe single for certain, I think like maybe the Target album. I'm not sure. But now it's on the streaming services. So he posted a throwback picture putting the date of when they wrote it back like December 2021. And everyone is up in arms because it does not match everyone's fictional timeline of Taylor Swift's relationship demise.
Yeah.
So everyone's like freaking out that they were like on the rocks before they actually broke up because they were spotted together, Taylor and Joe, in 2022 before the Eras tour started, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So now this is happening with Deuxmoi, Tree Payne, who is Taylor's PR person. She only represents Taylor because
Why
that's
not?
how badass she is. I'm sure she gets paid very well.
Yeah.
She's this redhead. She's always seen with Taylor. They never come out publicly against anything that's like claimed. So it just feels like weird timing. But Tree has issued a statement via Twitter or AKA X and said enough is enough with these fabricated lies about Taylor from Deuxmoi. There was never, in all caps, a marriage or ceremony of any, in all caps, kind. This is an insane thing to post. It's time for you to be held accountable for the pain and trauma you cause with posts like these.
Wow.
And I am thinking, when you say pain and trauma, you can be sued for emotional damage.
Yeah.
Or libel or anything like that.
Wow.
And
Defamation.
yes. And Deuxmoi issued an apology.
Oh.
Deleted it.
Deleted
it immediately.
Why did she delete it, I wonder?
I don't know. Because, like, if you have a fan base, do you stand up to the people that are kind of pushing you, or do you back down? Like, what do you do? Are you more loyal to the people or to the people you report on? I think she's for the people.
I mean, she's got to get paid for the people.
Oh, yeah. And she came on her. Okay, yes. I'm glad you said that. Because her apology was like talking about, like, I don't get paid to fabricate lies. But that's a lie. You are literally being paid from somebody somewhere. She's put a book out. She has a podcast, a Patreon. Like, she's making money
for sure
from the things she says. She's
getting ads.
Yeah.
For
she
us
also
clicking
does
on.
have like a disclaimer before you start like her stories saying like this is
rumors.
these are rumors, this is for entertainment. Wow. But then when you say things, I will die on this hill, put it on my tombstone.
And that could just mean like somebody else told me they'll die on this hill. Like I've seen pictures of it. I mean, that's different than being there.
Yeah.
Or that's different than like a video proof of it. Because if I have video proof of it and like I have, full on pictures that they were up at the stand, maybe it could have been a music video that she was doing. I don't know, but
if someone was speculating on my past relationship as I'm currently in a new one,
I would be so pissed.
And saying I had a miscarriage when like I was,
HIPAA.
You never.
You can't be saying stuff like that. That's a HIPAA violation.
She's not a doctor, but you shouldn't be speculating on someone's.
You shouldn't be knowing someone else's medical
or
history.
giving it to the world. Like,
yeah,
it's really messed up and
what
really
if she
sad.
did have a miscarriage? That is terrible to let people know, and like for us to gossip about it,
which I feel like justifies the pain and trauma that Tree refers to. Like, you are bringing something up for Taylor that could be true or could not be true, but either way,
it's traumatic.
It's traumatic and harmful. Nuts.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. So I've already checked to see how much Deuxmoi's posted since then. When I checked a couple days ago, maybe like, the day or two after this, she'd only posted like 4 things.
I guarantee you, if Taylor put out something boycotting,
everyone will turn on Deuxmoi. I'm thinking this is it. This is the down.
Millions of followers. Just by the Swifties alone.
And it was fun during COVID because that's when I started following Deuxmoi.
Me too. Because we wanted to know what celebrities were doing.
Yeah, where is everybody? You know?
Yeah. Well, you and I did. No one else does. No one even cares.
That's why we're here today.
Wow.
I think it's going to be, I'm hoping this launches the big thing, which other celebrities I think have already come out against Deuxmoi. Deuxmoi's been referenced on like TV shows and everything.
I mean, literally Gossip Girl.
Literally. Well, the new Gossip Girl, the reboot, they referenced Deuxmoi.
No, but I mean, like, Deuxmoi is Gossip Girl.
Oh, yeah. True.
Modern day. Wow. I want that job. People just tell me their gossip.
I would love that. But then at what point, where do you draw the line? Like, what do you post and what do you not post?
I mean,
do you say someone had a miscarriage if they didn't? Do you say someone's married if they're not? Do you still talk about their relationship if they're in a new one?
Do you post if they're secretly gay?
Oh my gosh. Also, well, okay, yes. But people, so
I don't want that job. That's a tough job.
People are upset that Deuxmoi posted about Jack Antonoff and Margaret's wedding. I referenced them before. Yeah. Well, last one. So they got married somewhere in Rhode Island, I think. I don't know. Well, Deuxmoi posted like where they were, and people frenzied and flooded the streets because Taylor Swift was at this wedding.
Oh my God.
Rumor is that it drew like a line between Taylor and Jack and Margaret because this was their wedding and it tainted
got leaked.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's also fucked up for you to post on the internet for 2 million people. I mean, but if you're having
Taylor Swift at your wedding, I mean, I would imagine it's going to be leaked somewhere.
I don't know, because apparently the people in Kansas City don't post where Travis goes and like let him live his life, and he goes clubbing in restaurants and stuff like that.
He was at the grocery store buying fucking ice cream.
Because it's relevant now. But like before,
we didn't care before Taylor Swift.
So people are like wanting them to not care again now that Taylor's there, and I think that's what's happening. Also, they were apparently spotted in matching.
Swifties are nuts.
Yes,
they are nuts.
Yeah. It's scary what people could do.
It is.
Humanity is literally the worst, and I'll die on that hill. All right, next story. We got Piers Morgan.
Yes. So Piers Morgan is spilling the tea on the royal family. So there's a new book called The End Game that is written by, I mean, his name is what I see as Omid Scooby.
Okay.
I'm sure that is not the way it's pronounced, but that's the way I read it.
Oh my god, wait. We didn't even talk about you picking your new language for today.
Konnichiwa.
So, yeah.
Japanese.
Yes, okay. But when I asked her what she was going to do, she was like, I'm trying to find Irish. The Irish language, like what they say. I'm like, Mom, Irish is not a language.
Jordan,
it's
I'm
a dialect. Because she's like, I'm watching Outlander and wanted to say it like that. I'm like, no, they speak like Gaelic. Like that's their language. Well, and she knew that.
When I was Googling it, it said Irish Gaelic, and that's what they say on Outlander. But I thought Irish was like it's
a nationality.
I thought it was like French, where you could speak French. Or Japanese.
We're American, but we don't speak American.
That's
we speak English.
That's true.
We were cracking up. I think we were in tears.
So dumb.
It was so funny.
So dumb. So I went with Japanese.
Anyway, back to Pierce and the Royals.
Yes. So The End Game, this book about Meghan and Harry, was written originally in Dutch, which apparently is language. I don't know.
But you can be a Dutch person.
But you're not from Dutch. What? Oh my god.
Where are they from? No. Oh my god. Aren't you?
Where is Dutch? I think it's Holland.
I think so too.
I am such a dumb American. I'm crying. Oh my god.
They speak Dutch, and the Netherlands,
the
Belgium,
Netherlands.
Curacao, Sint Maarten,
Curacao,
Aruba, and Suriname. Suriname? I don't know. A few places speak Dutch.
Okay. But they're not from Dutch. Okay, so this book was written in Dutch, apparently. And
I just want you to know the Hollands is the Netherlands. So you were correct when you said the Holland speaks Dutch.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. So this book was written in Dutch, and it has since been pulled from the shelves because in the Dutch version, it named the two royals who had a problem, or not problem, a concern over baby Archie's
Which was like a big
color.
Story
Yes.
back in the day.
Back in the day when they got married and she was pregnant, and she had that Meghan and Harry had that interview with Oprah, and something came out about them asking about some kind of racist comments because Meghan is biracial, half black and half white, and they were concerned on what their baby's skin tone would look like. But Meghan and Harry was like, we didn't hear that. We don't know. We would like to think that our family is not racist.
That makes me so sad.
It's, we don't know. So they never said anything. So Piers Morgan got the Dutch copy of the book and is like, I'll tell you what it said.
He's the worst.
I read it in Dutch, and it's King Charles and Princess Kate are the two ones that had the conversation about his skin tone color.
Charles doesn't surprise me. He's racist.
Kate surprises me. But it makes sense because their body language towards each other, they don't like each other.
Yeah, it's always been speculated that they are not friends.
They are not good sister-in-laws.
No.
So that's interesting because the Dutch version has been pulled and the English version has been put out, and there's no names mentioned.
Why? Why did they take out the names in the English version?
The man who wrote it, this Omid Scooby, he has been quoted saying, I never put names in the Dutch version. But the Dutch version obviously has names. So that's just going to be a whole...
Wait, did someone put it there or someone not?
I think someone translated it from Dutch to English and saw the names in it. And then they tried to backtrack it when they wanted to pull it. The palace is considering all their options because they are pissed.
What they do next because they're fucking racist?
Yeah, they're pissed that this
White
got
people.
out. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's nuts. I don't know.
I mean, can you imagine though, like, even coming into this family being Meghan, being half black,
They already knew it was going to be rough.
I mean, that's
It's a white
they got
bloodline, like
yeah.
pure. They were marrying cousins to keep it quote unquote pure.
True. But Harry, he's just always been
Rebel bad boy.
the rebel.
Good for him.
Good for him. Marry the love of your life.
Yeah.
No matter if they're orange or black or purple.
Yeah. I read that him and William aren't speaking and like don't plan on speak unless it's like,
well, if my fucking wife said some shit like that, I wouldn't speak to my brother either. Put your fucking wife in line. Like, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the two
Because
brothers.
what part does your brother like agree with your sister-in-law, you know?
And how comfortable does fucking Kate feel talking to King Charles about Harry's kid? Like, that's rude.
They probably meet at the table.
And who heard it? Like, who's spying? There's a mole.
Oh my gosh. It makes me think of that British BBC show that I made you try to watch and you didn't like, but I love. Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
It feels like Downton Abbey.
I couldn't get into Downton Abbey. Maybe I need to try again.
You just stick with it because it gets better.
Okay.
I think the British people are just like slow melodramas. Like it takes a while. You know, another one you should try is it's on Max right now. It's in the second season, The Gilded Age.
Yes.
And it's like an American version of like.
Saw that you were watching that because it was like, see, you were on like season 2 episode, and I was like, oh, let's try that. And we watched one episode. Dwayne loves it. He's going to watch it by himself. I did not like
You
it.
didn't like it. Stick with it. Give it more than one. You have to give something at least 3 episodes. 3. 3's a magic number.
Ugh.
I'm glad he liked it, and I'll talk about him with him.
Yeah. I don't think he's watched it again because I was just like, oh, this is terrible.
The main blonde girl.
Yeah.
She is. Oh my god, I forgot her name. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give you clues. The Devil Wears Prada. Not Anne Hathaway, but her boss.
Emily Blunt?
That's not her boss. That's her friend.
Oh,
Miranda Priestley. Who played Miranda Priestley?
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah.
She's also in.
Shush for a minute.
She's Donna in the Dynamos from.
The fuck is her name? She's Miranda from Sex and the City.
No, she's not in Sex and the City.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada. From The Devil Wears Prada. She's also in my favorite fucking musical.
Streep?
Meryl Streep. Why are you looking at me like that when you said the right name? Meryl Streep is who I'm talking about.
Okay, but the redhead Miranda from...
That is literally a different show. That is Sex and the City, and I said Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada.
Okay, but she's also in The Gilded Age.
Who? Oh my God. The weirdest connection. Yes, she is, but that's not who I was talking about.
But she's
yes, Miranda
from
is...
Sex and the City.
Will you let me finish my point before you talk about Miranda from Sex and the City?
She's in The Gilded Age.
I don't care. Hold on. Meryl Streep.
Okay.
Her daughter is the main girl. Is the blonde.
Like the rich blonde across the street?
Yeah.
In the house?
She lives with Miranda from Sex and the City. She's the niece. She's the niece.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She changed her last name. She doesn't want to be like known as Meryl Streep's daughter, but it's Meryl Streep's daughter.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, Miranda from Sex and the City.
I mean, it's given
aunt. Christine Baranski is in that movie too, or in that show too. She's the aunt, and she's also in Mamma Mia with Meryl Streep.
And she's a who.
She is a who.
She's in The Grinch.
She is in The Grinch.
And she's Leonard's mom on The Big Bang Theory.
Is she really?
Yeah, I love her.
Gosh.
She's like the therapist.
I like her. I like her a lot.
I love her.
She's so pretty.
And she's also in Bad Moms.
Yeah.
She's Mila Kunis' mom.
Yes.
I love her so much. She's so beautiful. She is a literal who with a little who nose.
I don't think she had prosthetic makeup to be a who because she looks like a
didn't.
who.
Yeah, she's a literal who. I love who's.
You know, for someone who loves who's, you don't have like Grinch themed stuff. It's just random thought.
My next Christmas tree theme it will be the Who.
Okay.
Will be Grinch in Whoville. But I just don't know if that's like
It's also like
Grinchy. Like I don't want to be
everybody.
a Grinch.
No, it's like a cute theme that's popped up in the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do it now. But you can find a lot of stuff for it.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily like the Grinch. I just like Who's.
Whoville.
Whoville. I want like a whole Whoville.
Did you know they have like a Whoville Christmas village?
Jordan, if you were a baby, your whole room would be
I already
Whoville.
knew that. Yeah, like a nursery. Whoville nursery.
Yeah, I've loved Who since you were a baby.
I'm gonna do that because Brandon has a who knows.
He does have a Who knows.
Okay, we finished our top stories. We're moving on to the honorable mentions.
Yeah.
You said something about a dead longhorn.
This is the weirdest story. So on there is a fraternity at Oklahoma State
It's
University.
important to point out this is OSU and Texas playing in like the championship game.
Yes, the Big 12. They're in their championship game. And there is a fraternity called Farmhouse on Oklahoma State campus.
Okay.
And at 6:30 in the morning, yesterday morning, there was a dead longhorn on their front yard with
on OSU's campus.
On OSU's campus in front of the Farmhouse
confused.
fraternity. And in the belly of the longhorn
I'm already devastated with this story.
Oh, terrible. Was fuck FH, which is Farmhouse, was burned into the longhorn's belly.
That is disgusting. Diabolical.
And they could only assume it has something to do with
this game.
And the president of the university came out and said that they are appalled at the
Which university?
Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Because it was on their campus. That they're appalled at the animal cruelty
It's horrible.
that has happened, and they are fully investigating with authorities. They don't know anything what's happened yet, so I'm sure it's going to come out. But that is fucking terrible.
But it feels weird that it was a longhorn on OSU's campus, because if it were like exactly, it would be a dead longhorn on Texas's campus.
Yeah.
Meaning it's like a rival
Which
thing.
would be absolutely terrible also.
Well,
but
yes.
who kills a longhorn?
That is so sad.
And to put it into somebody's...
A sick, twisted person. Like, whoever this is needs to be banned from everything.
I hope it was one sick, twisted person and not like a whole different fraternity.
It takes more than one. It's going to be a group. It's going to be like 3 people.
That's disgusting. I hope they are prosecuted to the fully extent of the law.
Like, how? I don't get it. I mean, where is your
Moral
humanity?
compass.
Yeah, your moral compass.
That's terrible.
To kill an animal,
Yeah.
burn things into its flesh,
Yeah. Disgusting.
and display it as something
Over a
so cruelly.
football game?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
College football game?
Youth is wasted on the young.
Amen. Amen.
Their brains aren't mature yet.
No.
And it's really messed up.
My next...
Oh, you have another one?
I do have an honorable mention for Raquel.
Oh.
Raquel Levis.
But she's not Rachel, right? Is she still Rachel on the podcast?
She was Raquel.
Yes.
So she was the other half of Scandal.
Yes.
In Vanderpump Rules. What was it? Beginning of March.
Yeah.
So she hasn't been seen. She hasn't done anything except Bethany's podcast is the only thing that she has done.
Right. She's not returning to Vanderpump.
She is not returning to Vanderpump Rules season 11, which also starts in January. She has started or is starting a podcast called Rachel Goes Rogue.
And I saw it's going to be her discussing the timeline, things no one wants to talk about.
Yeah. It's giving her perspective on everything.
Now, but as a podcast, like, what happens when she's done all that? Like, that's not something people are going to want to tune in weekly for. Like, it would be different if this happened earlier. Like, the scandal is over.
But, interesting fun fact.
Okay.
Vanderpump season 11 starts in January.
Like, it premieres in January?
Premieres in January.
Is her podcast premiering in January?
Her podcast premieres in January.
That's not interesting. That's PR.
So, I don't know if... Two things. One thing, she's still in Arizona. She's trying to be relevant. She's, healed from all her emotional chaos that she was in, and she wants to do a podcast getting her own story out. And then once that's said and done, then she could just be a normal podcast like me and you, pop culture, blah blah blah. Number two, maybe she's still in Vanderpump, and it's all like a PR move for her to have a podcast and then like have Tom on her podcast or her and Ariana.
I don't know. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Thought.
Yeah. But I haven't heard because they just came out with the news that the podcast came out. So all next week's episodes of like Lala's podcast or Sheena's podcast or, I think Katie has one. I know Jax has one. So they'll probably mention, so I'm going to have to listen. Oh, I hope Tom Sandoval says something about it.
No way he won't. My honorable mention is about another celebrity car crash. I mean, I don't know what it is with celebrities and drinking and driving or just crashing cars and not looking. Like, I don't know.
They're crashing cars into things that are not moving.
For example, this is another parked car situation. I mean, better than a house, but still a parked car. So Michael B. Jordan
Who is my favorite.
crashes Ferrari into a parked car in Hollywood.
That's terrible.
It was 11:34 at a busy intersection on Sunset Boulevard, and
He just crashed into a parked car.
A traffic collision of a vehicle into a parked car. Yeah. Nothing nefarious and no evidence of a DUI. He must have been distracted, I guess. A field sobriety test was not performed, so.
I hope he just like reached down for his phone or something. He's not like a
I'm hoping
drunk driver.
so too.
I love him so much.
It ripped off a tire.
Jeez.
Gold rims.
How fast
And
was he
was
going?
spotted multiple yards behind the car.
So he was driving a Ferrari with gold rims.
Yes.
Shut up. Jeez.
Yeah, it was a blue Kia he hit.
Aww.
Parts of the left side of the vehicle were dented and metal scraps were hanging down after his car made an impact. So he had to be going fast, right?
He had to. It knocked his whole tire off?
You know, it says knocked the whole tire off, but the tire looks intact. But the things around the tire are not intact.
Ugh.
It looks bad. I'm going to assume this is a totaled car.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's the Kia?
That's the Kia.
Yeah.
No picture of his car, though.
He is so handsome. I've liked him ever since Friday Night Lights.
He's in Friday Night Lights?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That's where he's from.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know who his best friend is?
In real life?
In real life?
Who?
Sterling from the Rob Dyrdek show. What is it called? Ridiculousness.
What?
Yeah, they grew up together, lived together.
No way.
They might still live together. They might still be roommates. I doubt it, but they were like,
No freaking
they've
way.
been best buds. Yeah.
Wow. That
like your
is
buddy
a
is Michael B.
weird,
Jordan.
weird connection.
Yeah, yeah.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
All right, it's quiz time.
My turn.
So I grabbed some 90s questions.
Okay.
So you're being quizzed on the 90s.
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
my heyday.
For our listeners who don't know us, my mom was a teenager in the 90s, or Beth was a teenager in the 90s.
I graduated. Yes, I am Beth. I am
feel
your mom.
it feels weird to say mom every time.
Dude,
to
call
the
me
audience,
Beth.
you
That's
are Beth.
so
You are
weird.
not my mom. You're my co-host Beth.
No, I am your co-host, your mother.
Anyway, you were a teenager in the 90s.
Yes, graduated in 96.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, first question. Now, this one, it's so hard because you became a mother also in your teen years in the 90s.
That doesn't mean I still
it doesn't
wasn't a
feel like you
teenager.
were. It doesn't feel like it to me.
I can have a baby and still be hip.
Okay, what was the name of the virtual pet simulation game that came in a tiny egg shape?
Tamagotchis.
Okay, did you have a Tamagotchi?
No, you did.
Okay, I didn't think you did.
No, I'm not playing with toys.
See, and that's why I was like, you're not a teenager in the 90s.
No,
you didn't
but-
play with things.
But you were born in the 90s.
Yeah.
And by the time,
Everyone had a Tamagotchi.
by the time you were 5 years old and it was 2000,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you had a Tamagotchi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Killed it.
Yeah.
In the 1990s, which wide leg jeans became a fashion favorite for children? It says for children, but I feel like everyone wore these.
Wide leg jeans?
Wide leg jeans. It's a brand.
Oshkosh Bagosh?
Jinko.
What?
Jinko?
Janko?
JNCO.
No, don't know.
How do I know what that is?
I have no idea. I wouldn't put you in the wide leg
I don't
pants.
think you would. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure if it's for kids.
No.
Let me show you a picture.
I didn't wear any of that.
Jeanco, maybe?
No.
Oh, it's probably Jinko. If it's JNCO.
No, don't know. No. Those pants were worn by the kids who shot at Columbine.
Mom.
And they had a...
Did people wear these at your high school?
No.
You didn't live in an area where like you had a lot of weird kids though.
No. I mean, if you were wearing those, you were wearing a trench coat.
Yeah, you were grunge. Like you were
I mean, we were the height of the grunge.
maybe not grunge. You were goth.
No, we
No?
weren't.
Not you. If you were wearing these jeans, you might
don't
be a
think
little
we had
goth.
any
These
goth.
remind me of Clueless, and we've talked about that before. You lived in a very like small town where
Yeah.
you didn't have goth kids.
No.
And that's like the height of goth in the
No,
90s.
we had the height of grunge.
grunge. Height of goth's probably early 2000s.
Yeah, we didn't have any goth people.
Yeah,
They look like vampires. We would have totally made fun of them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we didn't wear jeans like that.
You never did.
No.
That's for sure. All right. What year did Princess Diana die in the crash?
99. 98.
Wrong. No.
97.
97.
97.
Yeah, I was
remember.
wondering if you would like remember it from the time or because you're watching The Crown.
Yeah, I just finished The Crown, which is so good.
97.
But I do remember it was probably a year or two after high school, so it was 97. Yeah.
Yeah, year after you graduated in 96.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember where I was at and everything. It was
Do you
sad.
really?
Yeah.
Where?
You need me to say it?
That made me like feel weird.
I mean, I was at a boyfriend's house and we had a party and everybody stayed the night and it was like 2:00 in the morning and we were all like, oh my God, Princess Diana got in a crash. And we're like, oh my God, what happened? And we watched it when it came on. It said that she had passed away.
News.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the royals were big at the time. Like everyone knew who they were. Or, like everyone knew Princess Diana at the time.
We didn't know who like the royals were, but we knew Princess Diana.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What reality television program is known to be the first?
The Real World.
Yes.
I took pride of seeing every season of The Real World up until, I don't know, probably the last 2 or 3 seasons.
It is the only TV show I've ever wanted to be on my entire life.
I know, me too. And when I aged out at like 25, I was heartbroken. I'm like, I am devastated. I am no longer a part of The Real World.
Mm-hmm. I would have applied, but then they nixed it, and then they tried to be like a Facebook TV show. Like, within the last few years.
Yeah, but I
just love The Real World.
The Real World came on. We were probably in 8th grade, maybe going into freshman year. But it was Eric Nies, and then he was my favorite. He was so good looking. He did like workout videos and stuff, and then he went on to like the MTV. MTV like spring break stuff, Beach House, and he would do all like the host for all like the dance parties and stuff.
Okay,
yeah. It was we were mesmerized by people just watching them live life.
That is so crazy. That's so cool. And to think how many reality TV shows we have now.
Yeah. And
this
had never been seen before.
That's so
and these were. Eric Nies was, from New York, and then they had another girl, Julie, who was like from, I don't know, probably the hills of Kentucky or something. Just like, and the show premiered in New York, so she come to the big city, and she was like a dancer in her little small town. So she was like going on all these auditions in New York, and then they had like a black rapper who was like a woman, and then they had a gay guy, which. I mean, back then it wasn't even talked about. So it was so groundbreaking back then. It was really cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
Last one. All of these just feel really easy now. What was the first rap song to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100?
Is it Will Smith?
No.
Beastie Boys?
No. Another white person.
Eminem?
No. I guess maybe early 90s.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
Rap song?
Mm-hmm. Rip Van Winkle.
Oh, Vanilla Ice. Duh. Yeah.
Ice Ice Baby.
I feel like that was like the late 80s. Had to be. I was singing that in 5th grade. That's like 89.
It was on the 90s one. Hold on.
Maybe it was
like 91 or something. Maybe 1990.
Yeah, 90.
Yeah, okay. All right, fine. What very early 90s? 1990.
Yeah. Ice Ice Baby. He graduated in Carrollton.
Yeah, he went to school with someone you know.
Yes.
Or knew, I guess.
Yeah.
Someone else went to school with Gwen Stefani.
Yes.
Well, was it also the same area? No, that was a different area.
That was San Diego.
Okay. But yeah,
Went
crazy.
to prom with Gwen Stefani.
No way.
Yes.
You're lying. I do not
lying.
believe that.
I mean, I don't know if they were dates, but they were in the same friend group and went to the same...
Went to prom at the same time.
Went to the prom to the same time, but they were in the same
group.
Same group in the same limo. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did not know that. That's an interesting fact.
Interesting fun fact. I know people who know people.
You know people who know people.
Before they were big.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. This is wrapping up our 8th episode.
8th episode. And
cool.
I will say, like, listening back to these podcasts, because I listen to them when you put them out, it is the craziest thing to hear my own voice. Because it's not the voice I hear in my head.
You sound the exact same to me.
You sound the exact same to me.
But everyone hears their voices differently.
That's
because
so
of the way it like
weird.
echoes in your brain and like the receptors and all this kind of thing. Like I sound deeper in my head than I do on like listening back.
Me too.
But you have a very high pitched voice in real life.
I do?
I do? I want to know what it sounds like to you.
I want to say it sounds just like this, but obviously
it's super crazy.
It is so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, 8 episodes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've had so much fun.
Yeah. I think it's getting better.
Yeah. Each episode is a new technical difficulty.
Honestly, I'm learning every week.
Look, I'm just
production is hard.
I'm just going to show up and tell you about some stories.
The only thing that's really hard is like socials. Like I follow a lot of people on socials, and like I'm big into pop culture on social media.
Yeah, me too.
But like
And I
being
listen to
the
podcasts.
person to like share the stuff and post the stuff.
Yeah. And I listen to podcasts because I find them on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, these two guys are
And
so
you won't
funny.
let me record you.
Well,
So how are we going to reach people?
Well, I need to look presentable because right now I'm in.
But people post videos of them all the time looking the way we look and still getting views.
Well, okay.
It's about the content.
That's true. That's true. I still need to, not look
prepared.
like a bag of garbage.
You don't look like a bag of garbage. You look like a bag of garbage in camo.
Right. And black.
Just kidding.
And
You're
pajama pants.
fine.
And pink socks. All right.
All right. Wraps it up.
Wraps it up.
I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Love you.
Love you. Oh, wait. Hold on. Like, follow, share. Answer the Q&A on Spotify.
Sandra, listen to this fucking podcast. I've showed you how to get on it.
Sandra's not
I've
gonna
showed
listen.
you where to listen.
Anna, share it with your sister. Send her the direct link. Mom, why don't you just send her the direct link?
Jordan, I showed her how to do it.
No, copy and paste the link because
I
if you
showed her
click
the
it,
links.
That's how you share on Spotify. I'm sure that's how you share on Apple. Everybody, follow this right now.
Yeah.
Click the 3 dots.
Yeah.
Copy the link. Share the link. It's a send link. I'm not sure. Do what it says. I can see when you send it and share it. I get the analytics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll teach you. Just go ahead and send it directly to her. We're calling her out right now.
Yeah. Calling you out, Sandra.
Quiz her on the 90s. As if she wasn't there.
Right?
Okay,
All
love
right.
you.
Love you.
Bye.